we are putting a lot of effort, but maybe in the next financial year we need to have a particular budget for closing Shakahola. Based on my briefing I've received here, I really think that there is need for a one-off budget that takes care of both collection of information, of samples, but most importantly in terms of final leg in terms of investigation, but also what to do with the people who are unable to come forward. We are unable to get DNA samples. What do we do with the site? You know, can we make it a memorial site for remembrance of these victims of, unfortunately, religious extremism and radicalization, and therefore so that it can become a place where it will remind us about our failures as a society to protect those who are victims of radicalization and religious extremism. This is regrettable, and this is an indictment on the part of government, you know, as a whole. It is something that should not happen in a country that has so many security apparatus, either whether somebody received the intelligence information from the ground and maybe never acted on it, or we must own up as a government that this is a failure on our part, that we can lose over 500 people when we have a government whose responsibility is to protect its own people. So to that extent, I can say without fear of contradiction that it was a failure of monumental proposition on the part of us as a country and as a nation that we failed. And this is not just those who are running government. It's also a failure on the part of citizens, because we are not becoming, like the Bible says, we are not becoming our neighbors, good neighbors. The top concern for us here in Kilifi is land issues, because it is either the issues of invasion by squatters, the issues that are related to a squatter settlement, issues of land evictions, issue of titling, and sometimes we feel very sad that even a very important, noble act of giving people their title deeds becomes a source of insecurity, especially for the elders who feel that their children and their relatives would attack them to get a title deed to sell land. And so we need to create this kind of awareness, and we need to tighten the controls when it comes to land issues, because transfer of land is a legal process that requires a lot of consent along the way. But because there's a collusion, because the buyers and the sellers, we have a problem here. We have a double selling of land here. We have issues that are related to land issues. Here, insecurity is perpetuated by issues concerning land. We also want to ask, we will be, after here, I will be seeking for a consultation with the Chief Justice, because part of the problems here is sometimes our judicial officers compound the problem when it comes to land issues by either issuing conflicting court orders, or sometimes issuing, for example, an order on adverse possession. In law, when you give an order on adverse possession, you are trying to say a person was living in a particular place for a long period of time, and in this case, for over 10 years. But you find one person is issued with adverse possession for 5 parcels. That is unheard of. It is an outright act of corruption. And I'm happy in the past some judicial officers have been disciplined by causing this confusion. And I believe that in the National Administration of Justice, these complaints that are raised by citizens shall be escalated to the Chief Justice, and working together, we should be able to deal with land issues here.